Okay, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Welcome to the Sugar Show. Some dumb kitty all the time. She just has to be involved. Well, guess what? It's that time I got stuff again. I got stuff from GRUVy. I got stuff from Amazon. Would you like me to share? Sugar, shall we share? She has no thoughts on the matter at all. Let's start with Amazon, because as you've seen in the thumbnail, this is a one GRUVy box, and I don't think we're going to get through this all in one video because I don't want to bore you any more than I already do, and we'd be here for a long time if I do both these together. Let's not do that. I thought I had this. There we go. I thought I had it open. I just couldn't find the flap. All right. Well, that's not physical media. We'll just toss that aside. This is something I actually purchased a couple weeks ago, and for whatever reason, one or more titles were, I guess, on back order or something, so the whole shebang got delayed. And it finally arrived. I'd actually almost forgotten that I placed the order and almost duplicated one of these titles from my last deep discount order. I had to like, whoa, pull it out of the cart. We're gonna start with a DVD. Remember those? I got some of those. There's some right here. This is something that's never made it to Blu-ray, which is why it's on DVD. It is, I almost gonna say it's a TV miniseries. What a cheaply produced package. I hope this isn't a bootleg. I got it from Amazon, but I don't even see a year of copyright just from a copyright for the package. I think this came out like in 99 or 2000. It was really close. This is a Joan of Arc story, by the way, which is wait. Yeah, we got to do our traditional thing, right? This is the Lily Sobieski rendition of Joan of Arc, and it came out really close time-wise to the Mia Jovovich film, The Messenger, which I did a little talk about in an unboxing and a SumDumBuys episode not too long ago. But as far as, I think, what you want to call the main Joan of Arc stories, The Messenger, Joan of Arc with Ingrid Bergman. Now this is the one that I didn't have of those. I know there's others out there, but these seem to be the three main ones. And I've been interested in seeing this since it came out. This one stars Peter O'Toole, Jacqueline Bisset, Powers Booth, Shirley MacLaine, Neil Patrick Harris. It's a great cast overall. I was hoping for a runtime on this, but I don't know if you're going to be able to make this out on screen here. Let's see. This just looks, I mean, look at all like what should be the technical details here. It just looks really generic and cheap, and I'm concerned. I don't think I've ever seen a DVD not have a runtime on it, but I think this was like a the blurs, a 2-episode TV miniseries. I shall find out. IMDb comes through. For a side note, Joan of Arc from 1999 is a TV miniseries with a 1 hour and 30-minute runtime. How is that a TV miniseries? That would just constitute a single 2-hour window of broadcast television with commercials. It's an hour and 30 minutes, it says. Presuming accuracy here. I'm confused. To be a miniseries, you got to at least split it into 2 separate nights of airing time, right? How do you do that with an hour and a half runtime? But it says here that there's 2 episodes. I don't understand. Part 1, part 2. I don't know, but there it is. Miniseries. We shall see. 4K with slipcover. This is 2 for 2 for blind buys for me. No, it's not a blind buy. I'm sorry. I actually did see this one, and I had mixed feelings about it many years ago. But it's time for a revisit because this movie is pretty well praised. Starring Jack Nicholson and Faye Dunaway. What we have in this 4K, my friends, is Chinatown. set in the 20s, I believe, and centering around the LA water wars, which has some side aspects to it that have a personal history and appeal to me, which someday my long-term viewers will be rewarded with a video on my involvement with that and a location shoot on the relevant subject. Someday. I was supposed to film that last month and wasn't able to, so it involves some travel, and I'll get to it. I will, I promise. Paper, bye-bye. Another non-blind buy and a mixed bag purchase for the sake of completionism and timely, because we need to be revisiting very shortly. We have my Blu-ray, yes, not a 4K, of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, which will never have a Part 2 because this film performed so poorly and was so overly long that the Part 2 was, I guess for psychological reasons, abandoned. So Dead Reckoning Part 1 will now just be followed up with The Final Reckoning. What does that do for the movie? Nothing. What does it do for the perception of the movie? Nothing, because anybody that's seen this is going to know that that's the follow-up to it regardless. And while it didn't end on exactly a cliffhanger, it left without a finale, and because it's a Part 1, everybody knew a sequel to that, which was supposed to be the last in the Mission Impossible franchise, was coming. So, more stupid Hollywood land gimmicks with titling films that just do not ever seem to make any sense when they do it. There's no rationale behind it at all. That's a mixed bag movie, though. There are aspects of it I liked, and there are aspects of it that I really didn't. But overall, it didn't seem to be very well received, unfortunately. Packing material. Okay, GRUVy. What do we have here? Let's do a count, shall we? Well, if my arithmetic is correct, I've got 21 titles from GRUVy here. When I was shopping for this purchase, GRUVy had so many sales going on simultaneously that at one point I had 70-something titles in my cart. Yeah. Part of that was while I was browsing, they had a really large 2 DVDs for $14 sale. $7 for DVD? I'm willing to do it. But as you all know, I only buy a DVD of a film if there's no other release available. So if it's never received a Blu-ray or 4K upgrade, or if either of those two had been released but have gone out of print and there's not a cost-effective way of obtaining one, I'll go back. So I started scrolling through just to see. Those of you that are watching, knowing of my expanding interest of older films, particularly older Westerns, certain actors, certain directors, gaining in more popularity and interest, right? So I started scrolling through this sale, and anything that piqued my interest, I just added to my cart. And I wanted to have that as a reference list where I would go through, pop into Blu-ray.com, look up the title, and see what actual releases were available for the film. Many of them, probably most, actually had a Blu-ray upgrade at some point. So then I plugged in, look at, okay, well, who's the Blu-ray from? How much does it cost? Where can I get it? What's the availability? Some of them, there was a couple that were out of print. Okay, so I stuck with the DVD. Some were Kino Lorber titles. Looked it up on the Kino Lorber website. Added it to my cart on my wish list. Spoiler alert, Kino Lorber's having a really big sale right now, too. And there's incoming. Some were Warner Brothers Archive release Blu-rays. So I would check those out because GRUVy distributes both Universal and Warner Brothers titles. I would compare between what the price on GRUVy was and what the price on Amazon was. Most of those Warner Brothers Archive titles on GRUVy run around $26. Amazon was having them in the $17 range, so I would add them to my wish list on Amazon. and which at future reference I will do a deep discount comparison. So I was slowly whittling down and removing that list. Anything that was still available on DVD I left there. But guess what? Hey, I still had in the neighborhood of like 50 titles in my cart after I was done. Maybe a little bit less. So I then went through anything that wasn't on sale that was just at its regular price, I removed. All those DVDs that were on sale and the sale was still active, I removed. Whittled it down to these 21 titles, made my purchase, and then plugged all those on sale DVDs and everything else back in for future consideration as far as that goes. So I need to pull the trigger and commit on those ones as well. I think there's a lot of classic John Wayne and Gregory Peck and Jimmy Stewart titles, I think, as well, that just have never made the leap to the next format, which I would like to get my hands on. So these were the winners, for better or worse. And by worse, I mean a lot of these are just purchased based on price versus actual preference. There's a lot of titles that I would have rather purchased, but I wanted sale prices, I wanted good prices, I wanted good formats, so those got priority. We're going to start with a 4K blind buy here of a title that I have been back and forthing on my cart and Groove maybe in the neighborhood of a year. I think it's a Korean film. I know next to nothing. I think I read a synopsis about it. I forgot. I don't care. I think it's a Korean horror film, and I don't care. I'm gonna watch it. But anyway, I got this thing good. This is The Wailing. It caught my eye. It sounded appealing. I'm glad that I forgot, because I really do like going into these things blind. There's something about, I don't know. I'm not gonna read. I don't care. What year did this come out? It's gonna tell me. This has got one of those hazy printings on here. This is from 2016. And there's a bit of aspect confusion here, because I've talked about my violating my rodent house boycott a little too often lately. I bought this from GRUVy, which puts it in the Universal and or Warner Brothers camp as far as what studio produced or distributed this. This has 20th Century Fox logo on it, and it says 2016 copyright 20th Century Fox Film Corporation. I see nothing at all on this about Universal or Warner Brothers. Does it make sense to anybody? Because GRUVy does not distribute anything for Fox or the Rodent House. I don't understand that. As it says, presented by 20th Century Fox right there. And there is no other American studio. Fox International Productions in Korea. Explain, please, somebody, if you can. This is unnerving to me. I don't like that at all. Any other 4Ks? Let's go through 4Ks first, shall we? This is an upgrade, I hope, of a movie I love. Was fortunate enough to see in a re-release in the theater, I think in 2022, taking place in the glorious year of 1962. And released in 1973, it is the American classic, American Graffiti. Great film. One of George Lucas's best. Which is, not that he has a lot. Hasn't made a lot of films, hasn't made a lot of great films. This is one of them. From what I understand, the sequel to this, not made by him, is absolutely horrific. Written and directed by Mr. Lucas before his ego got the better of him. I love this movie. I'm really looking forward to seeing if and how much better it looks on 4K. Speaking of 4K upgrades to my library, I put this one off quite a while because I wanted a good price on it, because I didn't feel like I really needed to upgrade. And I got it. And interestingly enough, surprisingly enough, it actually came with a slip cover. Great movie I got to see in the theater when it came out. It is Cow. Another cow. Actually, I think that was the same one. Hurry up, Twister. Oh, there it is. There it is. Starring the amazing Bill Paxton and the always lovely, sexy Helen Hunt, with early appearances by other people. No. Oh yeah, we got Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and we have, rest in peace, man. I'm sorry I cannot come up with your name, and I don't see you in the credits here anywhere. That's a shame. I feel bad now. Philip Seymour Hoffman, in one of his earlier roles, playing a wild, goofy, fun character whom I think we probably all like a lot. Love Twister. Also looking forward to seeing what, if any, improvements there are. I always concerned that 4K upgrades a film from this particular era. The CGI effects don't always live up. The more clarity and resolution you have in a film, the more flaws in that early or early-ish technology you present, and it doesn't always work out so well. Shall we do another upgrade to the library? Also got to see this one in another re-release in the theater, which was great. Really concerned that it would be received wrong, but as some of these go, people know why they're there, they know what they're seeing, and as excessively sensitive as current day audiences can be about films, fortunately the right ones were in attendance and it was not an issue. Just like watching a Quentin Tarantino movie. When I went and saw Reservoir Dogs last week, I was also concerned about that one. But no, the audiences had a great time. I had a great time. It was the second time I'd seen this film. The theatrical experience definitely helped my enjoyment of it enough to where I wanted to add it to my library when it came out on the 4K. Here it is. Yay, and I got a slipcover. What else do we got here? Any other 4Ks? Yes, we do. We got 3 more 4Ks. All 3 blind buys this time. Because of a recent release of a film I saw and didn't really care for, Mickey 17, same director, but this movie is pretty well praised. We have Parasite. And again, I knew nothing about this film. It is a winner of 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, but you know what? That has no value to me because awards, particularly Academy Awards, are a joke. They have no value, they have no meaning, they have no relevancy or point because the Academy has lost its way. It is, I believe, a Korean film. And the increase in Korean films in my library and in my theatrical experiences is notable, and I like that. Korea produces some very good films, and I'm happy about that. Expanding horizons, right? Next blind buy 4K, no slipcover again, starring Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington. I got this because I had to qualify for a sale, I think. It's one of those multi-buy ones, and I mean, you can't go wrong with that cast, you hope. Oh, theatrical and extended version with 18 additional minutes, so I guess that's where I'll be starting. This, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, be American Gangster, which again, I know nothing about. Purchase for the price, not always for the preference. Sometimes you just got to take advantage of these sales, cross your fingers, and know that the ones that you ruled out in favor of will still be there when you're ready for them. And another Denzel Washington film, this time co-starring Mr. Malk. It's Malk Warburg. Denzel Washington and Malk Warburg in Two Guns. You know, part of me wants to say I did see this or tried to, and I don't know. I have no real recollection of it one way or the other. I know that I'm generally pretty happy with both these men. No slipcover. That's okay. We don't need them. They're not always necessary. They are never necessary, but sometimes they are preferred. We like them. We don't need them. 2 guns. That be it. I'm cutting it up there, and we'll continue on in another video. Thank you. What did you think of these titles and these titles? Have you seen them? Do you own them? Do you like them? Do you want to say anything about them? Got any recommendations for future purposes? The word box is at your disposal. Make use of it. Engage. Pleasure. Say hi to Sugar on your way out. Bye, Sugar. Bye-bye, you. Good night.
Alan.